Andrew Tate leaves Romania, enters America, immediately discovers that geography is not a legal reset button. Every day online, it was confidence. Every day in court, it was restrictions. Tate, under investigation in Romania for human trafficking and organized crime allegations, spent over a year living in a strange limbo. Not convicted, not free, allowed to talk endlessly online, blah 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 blah, but not allowed to physically leave the country, which for a man who defines himself by mobility, dominance, and private jets was psychological torture. So he did what he always does when trapped. He talked. Blah 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 blah. Meh 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 meh. Constantly. The narrative was clear and aggressively repeated. Romania was corrupt. The case was collapsing. The matrix, as you all know, was scared. The system had already lost. And then, quietly, without a dramatic YouTube announcement, without a cigar-lit monologue, Romanian authorities modified the travel restrictions. Not dismissed, not dropped, modified. Andrew Tate interpreted this the only way he knows how. Total victory. Within hours, planes were in motion. Assets that had been seized were partially returned. Restrictions loosened just enough. A private jet was arranged. And suddenly, the man who spent months insisting he didn't care about leaving Romania left Romania immediately. The message was implicit. If they let me go, I was right all along. Tate landed in Florida like a returning emperor. Except instead of cheering crowds, Florida responded with something far more dangerous to his brand: clarity. Almost instantly, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis publicly distanced the estate from Tate's arrival. Not a protest, not a panic, just a firm, bureaucratic version of, yeah, no, this isn't us. DeSantis made it clear Florida hadn't been notified, hadn't coordinated, and hadn't extended any welcome, which was jarring because Tate arrived assuming America would function like his comments section. Loud support, instant validation, zero follow-up questions. Instead, something unfamiliar happened. Silence. Then, paperwork. Florida's Attorney General opened a criminal inquiry, not because Romania asked, not because of politics, but because once Tate was physically in the state, allegations followed him in. Subpoenas were issued. Warrants were reviewed. This was not the reaction Tate's brothers had rehearsed for, so he did what he always does when reality doesn't clap. He reframed. The investigation was political, the criticism was media-driven, the concern was fake outrage. Meanwhile, Romanian prosecutors calmly reminded everyone that nothing had ended. The case was active. Obligations remained. Court appearances were still required. This was not freedom, it was supervised movement. Which became very clear when Tate, after weeks of projecting victory in US, boarded another private jet and returned to Romania, not triumphantly, not defiantly, but compliantly. No speeches, no monologues, just compliance. At this point, the story's tone changed. What began as "they can't stop me" slowly became "I'm cooperating." What began as "I've escaped" turned into "I'm fulfilling obligations." What began as dominance content became logistics content. Supporters framed it as a strategy. Critics framed it as a reality catching up. And through all of it, Tate continued insisting that every development proved his point, even the ones that clearly did not. Multiple jurisdictions remained involved, civil suits loomed, international coordination stayed active, and Florida's inquiry did not appear just because Tate left the state, because investigations, unlike podcasts, don't stop when you change locations. By the end of the arc, the story wasn't about release or return, it was about limits. Limits on movement, limits on narrative control, limits on the idea that confidence alone equals innocence. Andrew Tate is free, technically, restricted, practically, and followed legally. He insists this is victory. I don't know why the he insists this is victory. Okay, you think this is victory? There you have it. Congratulations for your stupid victory. The justice systems involved insist this is process. And process, unfortunately for Andrew Tate, does not care how loud you say, I already won. So, this was the news for this week. Go have fun.